Good evening and welcome to MW Hire O'Moore Park here in Portlaoise. I wouldn't quite say it's last of the chalk ices there now, but it's a quite warm evening. It's summer football and it's summer of 2020. Most of us are glad to put 2020 behind us, but for Kilmore and Ballymore it's a case of they have unfinished business. They need to travel back in time to get the 2020 Leinster LGFA Junior Club Championship final played. I'm joined here by Aisling Cleary to take it through this evening's action. Aisling, what are you expecting?
Thanks a million, Kevin. It's wonderful to be here. I am looking for the sunshine, though. I must have lost it somewhere along the M7. Listen, two really committed teams here who were desperate to play a Leinster final and didn't want to let it go. And neither do we in Leinster Council, so we were delighted when we could finally, I suppose, conditions have allowed us to finally get the game back played again. So, really important game for these two clubs. It's the first in the history for Ballymore, and for Kilmore it is their first Leinster final appearance, I think, since 2000. So some of the players on that team would have been born, I'd say, the last time their club was in a Leinster final. So looking forward to tonight's action. Absolutely.
Well, we'll start by taking you through the two teams here. We'll go with the Kilmore side first, representing Wexford, of course. In goals, number 1, Kate O'Reilly. Full back line, Katie Bates, Kelsey Morris and Emily Bates. Sharon Keogh Cloney this evening lining out at right wing back. Will pop up all over the field. Grace Cardiff obviously providing defensive strength in the centre with Magella Byrne on the left. A lot of strength at midfield. 2 Wexford County panellists, Niamh Moore and Emma Cousins, side by side there, with Lauren Cousins, Emma's sister, centre forward, Sophie Boxwell and Ellie O'Connor, the 2 wing forwards outside of her. Up front, again, plenty of inter-county experience here with Maria Burns, full forward, and there'll be scoring power beside her with Cathy O'Connor and Ciara Codd. Now, to take you through the Ballymore side, of course, representing Longford, and we've a few absolute veterans here who have the world of experience, starting with Mary Kiernan in goal, following the green agenda, the spirit of recycle and everything. Her outfield career was outstanding for Longford. She has been repurposed as a goalkeeper, bringing that experience to bear. She's going to be a key factor in the game. Deirdre Monaghan rock solid at full back, with Shauna Heaney and Ciara Kelly either side of her. Youth in the half back line with Sarah Smith, Sorka Dawson and Avril Wilson. Again, Fiona Gettings, another absolute star player who'll be familiar to people who've been following ladies football for the guts of the last 2 decades. She's alongside Aisling Reynolds, of course, sister of Longford senior footballer Desi Reynolds. Then up front, Rachel Cassidy and Aoife Dawson are the 2 wing forward positions, with Caroline Kiernan centre forward. Emer Heaney, Longford inter-county star, will look to lead the scoring, and she has 2 very talented players either side of her. Alana Burns, proven finisher, really good scorer, and Marie Martin, top of the left. Though again, I won't lie and I'd say I'd be surprised if I saw the Ballymore captain lining out in that role. She could be deployed anywhere in the field, a real spiritual leader for this team. So we're going to take a moment now, and we're going to repose for Áran Naveen. Crowd noise, I tell you. Music to your ears, huh?
Oh, it's great to hear it. After being at so many games in the quiet, it's lovely to hear a cheer at the end of Áran Naveen, absolutely.
Yeah. I was remarking to myself there about how in England they want a nice little patriotic song at the start of a school day every year, which I thought was a quite interesting development, to be kind about it. But you know, they could learn a trick or two from the way Ireland do it. I'm looking here, I see Kilmore lining out on the field. I see Lauren Cousins switching back to midfield I'm going to presume that Emma has taken her place at centre forward, and yeah, as expected, we have a little bit of a switch on the Ballymore side. I see Sorka Dawson moving up to top of the left. So as expected, you're probably looking at Marie Martin dropping back into a defensive role. Sure enough, she's actually going back to full back to try and pick up Maria Byrne.
Under the current guidelines, I'm going to have to actually ask you to social distance a bit further in the stands, please.
That's telling you, lads.
Social distance further apart, please.
Social distancing in the stands, but obviously if you're tuned in at home you can sit as close as you like to whoever's beside you. Kelly Cunningham Offaly throws the ball in, and we're straight away underway with Niamh Moore taking on the ball for Kilmore. Ball outside, she's looking to the left wing. Magella Byrne trying to drive forward. Sorry, it was Sharon Cloney trying to drive forward. Ball comes back towards Niamh Moore now. And straight away we see that particularly modern phenomenon of all the half-forward line dropping back for Ballymore, trying to cover off the defence. Sure enough, it's Aoife Dawson trying to make the tackle straight away. Doesn't manage to do so. Niamh Moore continues to drop in. Lovely hand pass forward. Lauren Cousins doesn't manage to take control, but there's a free in straight away. A push in the back coming in there from Sorka Dawson, and it's going to be an early opportunity to Kilmore. Aisling, I'm going to just step back for a minute and just take a moment. You've obviously been watching a lot of games since the leagues have come back. Teams generally hitting the ground running. What have you made of the standard of football so far?
It's been really entertaining. Any of the games that I have seen, and I've watched a few on the Lidl player, and it has. Teams want to play football, and that's been abundantly clear from the games that I've seen. It's possibly valuing their football now that they have it back. Really entertaining start here anyway. Kilmore definitely off to the better of the starts maybe, but yeah, I think people are grateful to be back playing.
Absolutely. Just breaking forward here, Emer Heaney, first touch of the ball for the Ballymore full forward. She wins possession there. If you couldn't pick up on it, it was Maria Byrne split the post there with that free kick at the other end. So the first blood to Kilmore of Wexford here in this encounter. First bit of homework there for Kelly Cunningham as she takes out her, I'm going to say a pencil. It's usually a pencil. Referees advisory, they always teach you take pencil. That'll keep working in the rain. Lovely high free kick coming in there from Aisling Reynolds. That's absolutely superb. And that's a great settling score. If you're a free taker, that's a tricky one to start, but she'll feel good after kicking that one, I'd say.
That was a smashing, difficult enough angle as well. She absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, Kate O'Reilly now looking at the kick out, surveying her options. Looks like she's coming out here towards the stand side, out on the right. A lot of height on that one. It's Lauren Cousins getting in, breaks it down really well, and it's been won there by Magella Byrne. That foot pass up along the sideline doesn't get too far, but it's a Kilmore sideline ball. So far we've had one possession for each side, and they've each converted it into a score, so no signs of ring rust anyway.
Definitely not, no. They've both hit the ground running, but I suppose they have had a bit of notice to prepare for this. They have had a couple of weeks preparation, so they certainly taken the game by the scruff anyway.
Absolutely. Low ball here now. Emma Cousins trying to get down and win it. She was held by Fiona Getting, so Emma Cousins hits that free in. Lovely catch by Maria Byrne. Layoff coming here. Ellie O'Connor couldn't quite grab hold of it. Ellie O'Connor couldn't get hold of it. There was a sniff of a goal chance on there. Instead we have Ballymore on the break. Aisling Reynolds feeds it forward to Aoife Dawson. Aoife Dawson tries to step inside the tackle. Fiona Gettings now, first touch of the ball for her as she tries to work the ball inside towards Alana Burns, but it's a turnover there and Kilmore win it back. So straight away, the first two, it was sort of first blood to the attack on the first two possessions as each side yielding a score. Now to the defenders as each side wins a turnover. This time it's Lauren Cousins coming into possession here now. Steps inside her tackler, couple of options, shows the little dummy hand pass. Kelly Cunningham deems that's okay, she's happy to continue. Looks for the hand pass down towards Maria Byrne. Bit of a tight angle here. Marie Martin shadowing her. Byrne goes inside. Good hand pass inside, though that's taken into traffic by Sophie Boxwell, but she wins the free and it's going to be a close enough range free. So a good chance here for Maria Byrne to double up Kilmore's total and restore their lead so far. You couldn't say any strong advantage for either side so far. No,
there's no wind here at all. There's not those sideline flags aren't moving an inch.
Yeah, a little bit of humidity in the air, no wind. Oh, disappointing free kick there for Maria Byrne. She won't be happy with that one. Yeah, I think the best way we could sum it up is it is muggy and terrible drying weather. Not a breeze whatsoever. So apologies to anyone in the Portlaoise area that has your clothes hung out for the evening. You're probably not going to get much drying out of them. Bit of an error there on the Ballymore side. The kick out doesn't clear the 20-metre line. It was picked up early by Avril Wilson. So this is going to be a chance for Maria Byrne to kind of cancel out that miss, if you like. I know that's terrible maths. You don't have to cancel out a 0. If my father's listening in here, he was my maths teacher in secondary school, he'd be bitterly disappointed with that failure.
Maybe make up for the previous error. Is that?
Yes, yes. That's what I was going for.
I think she has it too.
I think she does. Yeah. You can always tell the little bit of a stutter step afterwards. She was happy with the flight of it. She didn't feel the need to watch the umpire. She knew where it was going. Long ball down here, and that's going to be gathered up. Well won again by the wing back, Magella Byrne. Feeds it back inside towards Lauren Cousins. Lauren Cousins been on an awful lot of possession so far. Feeds it into Emma. Lovely turn of pace, just forced wide, which is enough to push her out. Lauren takes the ball into the tackle. It's a bit of a wild tackle. Swinging arm, says Kelly Cunningham. So we're going to have another free here and a chance for a third score for Maria Byrne.
It's a great start for Kilmore. Really, like, Ballymore are doing their best to swarm out the defensive wise, but they're just a bit eager in the tackle.
Putting themselves under pressure with the kickouts is the thing. It started out on target, but I think it's swinging, and sure enough, it's swinging out to the left. So 2 on target, 2 wide so far for Marie Byrne. Possibly you could say maybe a left-footed free taker is what's needed. She had 2 on the left-hand side, which were ideal for the right-footed kicker. Hit the target with both. 2 on the right-hand side, which she pulled both of them wide of the target. Now maybe she'll find a range, hard to know. Kick out coming here from Mary Kiernan, and again somebody not happy with what's going on there.
I think she went further than the 13-metre line, I think, for the kick out. She just went a bit far.
She's getting a slap on the wrist rather than a full sanction. She's being given a do-over.
Aye.
She kind of didn't break the rule by as much there, but still by a little bit. Magella Byrne takes possession again. Ball worked out here, and a charge coming in there. Oh, okay. That wasn't the way I thought that free was going to go. So we have another free, this time again on the right-hand side. Maria Byrne. This one a little bit further out. It's going to take every spoonful of Weetabix she had this morning to get this one as far as the crossbar, I would suspect. No, she's got it. She had 2 balls of Weetabix, I think. It's on target. And
it
it's
was a lovely finish. Maybe it was a bit easier, the fact that it was a bit further out, perhaps, maybe.
There you go.
Definite 2 Weetabixes this morning, maybe.
2. You're on the diet altogether. Ball out here towards Aisling Reynolds again. Not the best hand pass in the world, but it's well recovered by Fiona Gettings. Definitely Ballymore need to get her into the game a bit more. That could be a lovely delivery. It's gone in behind towards Aoife Dawson. Doesn't quite gather at the first attempt. She's won her free, but the impetus was lost there. There could have been an overlap on if she'd gathered that at the first attempt. So we're looking here, Aisling Reynolds, she's only had 1 attempt so far, and it was an absolutely inch-perfect kick. I think, I don't know if our microphones would have picked up on Aisling's expression of dissatisfaction with missing that particular one, but either way, I think whether you were looking at her gesticulation, you didn't need us to tell you that one was wide of the target.
Should have opted maybe to play it instead of going for it, you know.
Fair play, Captain Hindsight. That's it. Aoife Dawson wins the kick out now. Lovely ball in towards Emer Heaney. First chance for Emer Heaney to register in the game and make a contribution. Inside to Fiona Gettings. Oh, blocked down. She gets it at the second attempt. Gets her shot away over the crossbar. We have a first score from play in the game. Probably a sense that Fiona, would she have felt she might have done better in that situation, or she might have wanted more out of it maybe?
I think that the goal was crowded. I think she did the right thing in going over the bar.
Kick out coming here from Kate O'Reilly. That's a lovely delivery. They're targeting Lauren Cousins with all of these so far, and she's doing really well under it. Wexford County player now driving forward down the right wing, but that's a lovely interception. Really good read by Sorka Dawson. Doesn't quite hit the target with the pass though. It was an opportunity. Again, you get the sense Ballymore, those breakaways are probably going to be their best opportunity here. That's where they've had the most joy so far.
Absolutely. They just maybe just take that extra half second to compose themselves before they do work forward. Because Kilmore have been...
yeah, there's no question. Kilmore have been able to... Kilmore definitely brought their inside forwards. Well, look, Maria Byrne mainly into the game. Quick sideline ball here. Magella Byrne now coming into the play. Lovely driving run from Magella, feeds it forward towards Emma Cousins. We've seen already she has a wonderful turn of pace, but that's brilliantly done by Sorka Dawson. Got in there, made the tackle, forced the spill. The Kilmore able to recover and win possession, but that's wonderful bravery. Really good dive in there from Ciara Kelly. Got down low, put her body on the line, won possession, but they can't hold it. Sharon Cloney now coming onto it, feeds the ball down the line. She's down on the programme as Sharon Keogh Cloney, but I'm afraid when you're a commentator, I can't afford you 3 names. I only have time to give you 2. So Sharon Cloney she is. Ball inside towards Maria Byrne, and again, not particularly happy with that finish. She's pulled it wide of the target again. Quick kick out coming here. No chance for me to draw breath. Isn't it lucky I'm breathing freely? Shauna Heaney takes the possession. And she, free going the other way. Free going to Kilmore here. And again, Lauren Cousins coming onto it. You can see early on, kick-out's going to be a big problem for Ballymore here.
Absolutely, yeah. They're just not winning them kick-outs. Kilmore have kind of turned them over each and every time, haven't they? So
they really have. It's a steady supply of possession. Emma Cousins now with the long ball forward. Oh, God, Lauren got up off the ground very well, but couldn't gather it at the first attempt. Ciara Kelly's able to win the break. Now Ballymore try and work it out. Play being linked here between Deirdre Monaghan and Marie Martin. Work back to the keeper, and now Aisling Reynolds coming onto it. So slow build up here from Ballymore. That's a high 50-50 delivery. And to be honest with you, 50-50 delivery. Magella Byrne has hoovered up a couple of high balls already. She's been very, very impressive coming into the game at midfield. Lovely link-up play here from Kilmore again. Works through the hands with Niamh Moore. Now finds its way back towards Cathy O'Connor and outside towards Lauren Cousins. A little bit outside of scoring distance, but there's a hand pass on here. Chance here now for Niamh Moore to take a shot on goal. Doesn't elect to take it, and again Kilmore are forced to work the ball back out to try and go back in again. That's a lovely high catch. Well won by Emma Cousins. She's being held, and the whistle was sounded before the ball was over the bar. Emma Cousins had put the ball over, but the whistle was already sounded, so we're going to come back for the free in here and a chance for Kilmore to retake the lead. So definitely fair to say it's all about possession so far. Kilmore have more of the ball, and that's why we have more scores.
Ballymore just can't seem to keep it.
Yeah, it is.
Which is a tad of a problem.
Absolutely. So it's as if Marie Byrne has decided that football isn't quite up to standard. So we're coming back out. She seems happier enough to proceed this time. Swing of the right boot, exactly where you'd expect it to go. It's gone between the posts. 4 points to 2, and we have our water break. Okay, I'll put you in the hot seat. You're the Ballymore management. What are you saying at water break?
I just think they need to just look up before they're taking that last pass. They seem to be able to move it out so far, and it's a hash job then to finish it or to push it clear. And Kilmore are just alive to that challenge.
So you heard it here first. They need to be more relaxed, which she decides is a hash job. There you go. No comment whatsoever.
I think there's more in this Ballymore side, though. I think it's a nervous enough start maybe, but you'd have to fancy the level of experience they have in that team. They won't be panicking yet. 4 points to 2. You're only a quarter of a game gone.
A couple of competitive games played already in Wexford this year, possibly standing to Kilmore a little bit.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so.
So no panicking from the management teams anyway. We are the same 15s going back out. Well, obviously I would be stunned if there was any changes on the Kilmore side, and still probably a little bit early on the Ballymore team. They will be looking to try and bring some of their key players into the game, though. I'd be looking at the likes of Marie Martin in particular, the captain. She's been dropped back into a deeper role, but they need to get her into this game here. So Mary Kiernan, she's not happy with the options she sees in front of her, thinks about it, chooses to go down this side, and that's a raffled ball again. Emma Cousins able to win it. Lovely hand pass inside to Lauren Cousins. Steps inside, goal on maybe, and it's in. It's a lovely strike from Lauren Cousins. Definitely, I'd say Mary Kiernan will be a little bit unhappy. She got herself into a good position, but the ball just squirted through her hands there, and that is an absolute game breaker here. A complete turnabout, vital score for Kilmore. Very much in the driving seat now. They'll look to push home their advantage, but Ballymore win this possession with Deirdre Monaghan. Need to settle back into this game, get a score on the board. Alana Burns hasn't had a chance to get into the game so far. Again, that's a kind of a tricky ball to win, and Emily Bates does really well. Ball work down the left-hand side. Now, turnover for Ballymore if they can hold possession. They've won it. Avril Wilson wins it, looking for the long delivery. Here's Emer Heaney now. Run coming from Caroline Kiernan ahead if she can get the ball on. Instead looks for Fiona Gettings. Fiona Gettings off the left boot, but she skews off her left boot. Outside again. That lack of composure telling in front of the post that time. You get the sense that would have been a really important score to take away from Kilmore's momentum. It's one they really could have done with.
Absolutely, and you know, when they moved that ball nice and quick, Kilmore were exposed.
Chance for Ballymore here. Kick-out's won by Aoife Dawson into Emer Heaney. She has goal on her mind, you can tell, but she's well held up. And instead, we're going to come back for we're not going to come back for a free. She's going to deem that it's over carrying and a free out for Kilmore. When the hand pass went in there from Aoife Dawson, you could sense Emer Heaney realised that we need to get something more than just a point out of this. She probably would have been happy with a point, but there's another chance for Ballymore here. They win the ball through Aisling Reynolds. Now it's fed inside. Fiona Gettings with a chance. Ball is fumbled. Poor tackle. Tackle was across the arms, and it's going to be a chance for Ballymore to maybe draw breath. And you'd expect a free that you would anticipate Aisling Reynolds would be able to convert this. Far too early to panic, but at the same time need to get scores on board, I'd say.
I'm just waiting to see. Yeah, she has it. Yeah, that's an important score now for Ballymore. They might build from this.
Absolutely. Well, you can tell they're struggling on their own kick out, but when they can get on top of the Kilmore kick out and push up a little bit, they have a better chance. Now, I will admit, all right, that Michelle Byrne and Lauren Cousins have won a few. Again, we're going high. We're looking for the height of Lauren Cousins. It's there to be won, and it's well won on the Ballymore side. Brilliant win by Aisling Reynolds again. Feeds the ball down here into Caroline Kiernan, but that's a lovely turnover. Well won there by the Kilmore defence. Emma Cousins breaking out of defence. Long ball down the sideline. Just gets out too far in front of Cathy O'Connor. So we have another turnover. Time for Ballymore now to try and build. Sorka Dawson looks up, goes for the hand pass to Fiona Gettings, then continues the run. No real space for her to run into. There's a lovely break here. Aoife Dawson was in behind if the hand pass was able to find her. But again, Magella Byrne sweeps in. Of the less well-known players, the non-county players, Magella Byrne has really stood out for me so far.
Absolutely, Kevin.
So we might have a little bit of a stoppage here. There was a Kilmore player went down there. I think it was just nothing too malicious or anything like that. Just somebody came charging through her back, and these things just you can end up temporarily winded. But we're underway again. The quick free was fed to Niamh Moore, and now Kilmore build again with Cathy O'Connor. They get a stroke of luck there. Ciara Kelly can't hold the ball. Great chance for Kilmore here again. Maria Byrne feeds it inside towards Sophie Boxwell. Sophie Boxwell. It looks like there's been a push given here. I'm not entirely sure what way she's given it though. Just take a minute here because there was a clash between Sophie Boxwell on the Kilmore side and one of the Ballymore defenders. I couldn't make out who, but it's Sophie that's being spoken to by referee Kelly Cunningham, so that obviously that ascertains that for us. Maria Byrne just overcooked the hand pass there. 7 points up would have been a commanding lead now.
It was a great chance for Kilmore to really push ahead. But Ballymore back into it.
Yeah, 4 points still all there to be played for, but this is their problem area. Trying to find somebody with their own kick out. I know this is a free kick rather than kick out, but the same effect. And the long ball goes up here. That's a brilliant win by Aisling Reynolds. Absolutely phenomenal. Pure power, pure driving force. Long ball down towards Emer Heaney. That sort of strong, direct football will serve them well. Emer Heaney looks to break inside. Advantage coming here, and it's just a question of whether the punishment would be more severe than that.
That was quite a high challenge.
It was a high challenge, so we're in, shall we say, we're in yellow card country. It's just a question of where the border is.
Yeah. I think we might be just a tick.
Kelsey Morris has got a reprieve there. She's got a reprieve, and you have to say, given that she's got away with it, it was a good place to foul because Emer Heaney was in on goal if she didn't make that tackle right there. And this now, as it is, a tricky free for Aisling Reynolds. She's trying to go off the outside of the boot to make it work. She has made it work. That's her third score of the game. And we're back at 1-4-4. And suddenly, much more respectable scoreline from a Ballymore perspective.
Absolutely, they'll be delighted, I suppose, with their response maybe after the goal.
Well, that's it. Two points straight away. Hasn't completely cancelled out the goal, but now they need to put pressure on this kick out. Again, we're going long. Hard win there from Sorka Dawson. Got up, showed a bit of strength. Sometimes you can look at tactics, but I just look at those last two kick-out wins. Sorka Dawson and before that Aisling Reynolds. Just pure strength under a dropping ball, and you get another scoring opportunity out of it. Just sometimes that individual moment is all you need.
Absolutely.
Aisling Reynolds now stands over this free, but there was a lovely bit of power there. It was just a simple case of Sorka Dawson put her body in there, stood strong, made sure she wasn't going to lose the grapple for the ball, and that was what set up the possession here. Aisling Reynolds now, she's 3 out of 3 on dead balls so far.
4 out of 4.
Commentator's curse doesn't strike just yet. She's 4 out of 4.
They seem to have gained a little bit of confidence, Ballymore, now. They're only 2 points adrift.
I'm finding
those last couple of plays now, they've really come into it a little bit more, maybe a little bit more content.
I'm curious, Lauren Cousins has now moved up into full forward here. Whether that's a kind of a give her a breather move, but they're absolutely missing her under the kickouts because there's Ballymore winning another one. Gettings feeding the ball inside. Looking now here, trying to find Alana Burns. Alana Burns trying to force her way to win that ball. Deemed to have been a push off. By the corner forward. And we're going to come back now for a Kilmore free. But yeah, I find that move very interesting, whether it's a kind of a give her a 10-minute break or whatever, but like she was dominating under the kick out and now suddenly Kilmore can't win their own kick out. I'd say that would probably have to go down as an accidental collision. I know it was Niamh Moore on the Kilmore side. I can't see who the Ballymore player that's down. Position would say Fiona Gettings, but I see Fiona out there. So possibly no, Sorka Dawson's there as well, but it looked like an accidental collision, but that's the thing about accidental collisions, that doesn't mean they hurt any less.
Absolutely, Kevin. She's still down anyway. She's
still down. Somebody's out there just trying to clear the Tweety birds away from her head, I'd say, because that was just... It was just a frontal bump and she was going down to win the ball.
I suppose these things happen so fast as well, you know, that it can be very hard to dodge them, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's okay.
Looks like she's up and about. Really important win for Ballymore this year to get back and win that Longford Intermediate Championship. They were a powerhouse club for so long in Longford, the dominant force there. 6 titles in 9 years, starting back early in the millennium. Really strong side. And fallen on hard times in recent years, but a good sign for Longford football that they're back and back up in senior ranks next year.
Absolutely, and you can tell in the stand that the people here supporting them are well behind them as well, so that's always a good sign too.
Oh, absolutely. There's a bit of parish unity in Granard when it comes to ladies football that wouldn't necessarily always be the case if it was Ballymore against. Is it St Mary's? I think it's the men's club up there.
Possibly, yes, St Mary's in Granard. Yeah, I think you're right.
I should know that. I should know that. I'll have Denise O'Flaherty up there from the Longford leader giving me evils from behind. That I took a second to think of her home club. Hopefully because she's here, she won't feel the need to listen back to the commentary and give out to me. Low ball into Emer Heaney. Gets away here. If she gets the hand pass, oh, I have to imagine she would have wanted the advantage there. She surely would have wanted the advantage because Caroline Kiernan was gone ahead and all she needed was the chance to get that hand pass away. The two Kilmore defenders, Katie Bates and Kelsey Morris, had ran into each other, so the overlap was there. Now look, as long as this one goes between the two uprights, they won't mind too much. But definitely that split second to see if the advantage was going to accrue might have been useful there. As Aisling Reynolds continues her 100% strike rate. 5 frees out of 5 scored by the Ballymore midfielder. A goal and 4 points to Kilmore, 6 points to Ballymore. This one is in the melting pot, as they say.
It is indeed, Kevin, and she seems to be kicking with an awful lot of confidence as well, those frees.
Another wonderful chance for Ballymore here. Deirdre Monaghan drives onto it. Quick exchange of passes. Emer Heaney now breaks the tackle. Oh, brilliant block down. It was actually Maria Byrne got back to execute that block. I know the advantage was being accrued, but it was green flag on Emer Heaney's mind in that situation. And Maria Byrne, I mean, whether it was her GPS got all confused or something, but somehow the full forward found herself in front of her own goal and she made her presence count there with a huge block.
Well, she has played both positions, hasn't she? Full forward and full back in her time.
I'm not saying she can't do it. I'm not saying she can't do it. Far be it from me, a perennial junior B.
Multi-talented.
Far be it from me, a perennial junior B, to call the positional abilities or the all-round abilities of any of these kind of players into question. I would never dream of doing so, but as they say, one roll at a time. Yeah, I'm looking actually, it is definitely Lauren Cousins. Lauren Cousins is full forward for Kilmore at the moment, and there's a height mismatch down at that end, and it's like something you see from those under 12 pictures. I'd say if Marie Martin is up to Lauren Cousins' shoulder, that's about the height of it. But no pun intended. Well, no pun intended, because it wasn't even a pun. It was
as
terrible.
Someone who is vertically challenged myself, I take issue with that now.
Yeah, but we're not competing for a ball here, so this is kind of not really the same.
Just as well.
There's no question there's been a huge momentum shift here. Lovely ball inside from Caroline Kiernan. Finds Fiona Gettings. Emer Heaney now again steps inside. Blue shot! Brilliant right-footed drive. Great finish by Emer Heaney. And suddenly we have a completely different game here. Ballymore, 5 points down only 15 minutes ago. Suddenly they are now 3 points up. This has completely swung. And lo and behold, Lauren Cousins comes back out to midfield and wins the first kick out. Straight away, Kilmore now need to swing momentum here, but they've lost that hand pass. Ballymore are absolutely flying at the moment. Lovely turnover, ball one, fed out here towards Sorka Dawson. Long ball up here now towards Rachel Cassidy. Cassidy hasn't really been in the game too much, finds Aoife Dawson. Chance now here for the two half forwards to link up. Maybe keep driving home Ballymore's advantage in this situation. Long ball down there from Rachel Cassidy, but that's well cut out. Fiona Gettings tries to make the rob, doesn't quite execute it. And again, Kilmore trying to work the ball out here. Sharon Cloney in possession. Kilmore have managed to execute the clearance. That's a sloppy hand pass. There's, I'd say 14 out of 15 players on the Kilmore team wouldn't have been able to win that one. Thankfully it was the other one, Lauren Cousins, who was able to get up. Dinks that ball down into Ellie O'Connor. There's loads of Ballymore jerseys back. I count 8 Ballymore jerseys inside their own 45-metre line, and just 4 Kilmore players. Maybe it's a lack of energy, because you have to say Ballymore are the ones playing with all the energy at the moment.
Absolutely, and it is a bit muggy, so the heat will sap the energy a little bit.
Ball bounces, well read by Fiona Gettings. All of her experience there now. Wins that ball, looks to go for the low 50-50, not quite won by Caroline Kiernan. Turnover forced on the Kilmore side by Kelsey Morris. Kelsey Morris linking up with Magella Byrne. Kilmore have possession this time, now they have bodies forward. Niamh Moore gets it into Lauren Cousins here. Will she try and take on Sorka Dawson? She does, she steps inside, she's on her right foot. Doesn't quite catch hold of it, and Mary Kiernan is able to gather. Kiernan, that's exactly where you want somebody to be pulling a dummy, right in your own 6-yard box. No fear whatsoever. Grace Cardiff with the intercept. Ball inside. Ciara Codd hasn't got her name on the score sheet yet. Will she be able to get a shot away? Feeds it inside towards Ellie O'Connor. Heavy traffic. Kilmore just looking for room to swing a boot. Maria Byrne well able to swing a boot if she can get the space. Again, it's past the parcel here, and that's a lovely block. Fantastic block by Marie Martin, by Avril Wilson. Inspirational stuff there from Wilson. They've done it again. Fiona Getting scooping up that loose ball. Ballymore now, they're after starving Kilmore of scores for a long run. We had that goal immediately after the water break. Nothing since, but they've given away that possession. Poor ball there from Fiona Gettings. And now, but they won it back. Aisling Reynolds in. Long ball. And Emer Heaney one-on-one. She'll relish this. After Burner's time. She looks to step inside. Solo's a little bit high. Looks for the point. It's between the posts. Emer Heaney fires it between the posts. Goal on the spin from the full forward. You can't leave her one-on-one in there. That's going to lead to damage every time.
Absolutely not. She's really reignited this Ballymore forward line all by herself. 3 Kilmore defenders and gets the score. Fantastic stuff.
Absolutely. This is definitely a case now. Ballymore do not want the half-time whistle coming at all because they are flying it here. 1-6 on the bounce. All the momentum with the Longford side here. And Kilmore have possession, but they're under a world of pressure. Emily Bates and Sharon Cloney can't quite work the clearance. Ball back inside towards Emer Heaney. First chance for Alana Burns here. Alana Burns, she's blocked down. Picks it up at the second attempt. Feeds it back outside. Chance for Fiona Gettings. It's off the post. Who reacts sharpest? Aisling Reynolds is in sharpest. And Aisling Reynolds wins the dirty ball. Wins the free on the 20-metre line. Tap over country for her, you'd have to imagine. And she showed the bravery, she showed the alertness. I have to say, in this second quarter, notwithstanding the goal, there's a world of difference in sharpness between these two sides right now.
I don't know, it was in them water bottles at the water break, but it definitely, the game has turned on its head.
So you've heard it here now. Leinster LGFA PRO calls for drug test of the Ballymore side. She questions what's in the water bottles.
I'd like some of it myself, never mind.
There you go. We'll take that story a step further. Leinster LGFA PRO volunteers to conduct drug tests on behalf of the association. One way or another, back to matters on the field. Aisling Reynolds, carrying that magic water bottle stuff in her system, fires over her 7th free of the game to make it 1-9 to 1-4. Long clearance again here from Kate O'Reilly, being contested. Kilmore win the break here. Well won by Magella Byrne. Magella Byrne, but she overplays it. The tackle comes in there. Well done by Deirdre Monaghan. Big turnover. Big turnover, and you can tell the little bit of frustration. Lauren Cousins throwing the ball away there. She took 2 solos. The third one was one too many, really.
Indeed. And Kelly's done a good job, in fairness. She's keeping a tight rein on this game.
Sticking to the party line to the last. Nothing else I'd expect. Long ball forward to Emer Heaney. Lovely run from Fiona Gettings. Fiona Gettings, that's well held up in the tackle. Slows it up. Gettings snatches at that one a little bit, and she pulls it wide of the target. She's getting into good positions, but she just hasn't been able to deliver the finish, notwithstanding the close range one. But still, she'll be very happy with her contribution. I'll tell you, for somebody that has I think the kindest way I can describe it is years of experience. She's getting up and down the field there, Fiona Gettings. That is sublime. That is absolutely sublime from Aisling Reynolds. Deserves a score at the end of it. Not the finish she wanted. She pulls the finish wide of the target. But I'll tell you, got up off the ground and straight into a run from the catch. I'll tell you, in the modern era, I think what you'd want to do is film that and sell it as an NFT. That's valuable, I'll tell you. That was, in the old days, the phrase used to be put it on film and hang it up in perpetual loop in the Louvre. But NFTs is all the way forward these days.
Not on TikTok, Kevin, no?
You don't get money out of TikTok. I don't understand why you get money out of NFTs either. I'm 43 years of age. Blockchain has left me behind. But wonderful chance for Ballymore here again. Caroline Kiernan feeds the ball inside towards Emer Heaney. Doesn't quite get the hand pass away there. Ball is spilled. Kiernan takes it up again. Off the outside left boot. They're after kicking a couple of wides there now. As I said, they have their foot on Kilmore's throat. They could have exerted a little bit more pressure there.
I think she was a bit surprised to get the pass back at the end. Emer passed it back to her, so maybe it was just instinct took over rather than thinking it through.
Possibly, absolutely. Grace Cardiff now tries to pick up the short kick out. This goes for the hand pass to Sharon Cloney at the second attempt. Sharon dinks it forward towards Niamh Moore. Niamh Moore now Good long ball, right up. Oh, Maria Byrne doesn't succeed in holding it. And really, she couldn't have asked for a better pass than that. And that just really sums up how it's gone for Kilmore here. Maria Byrne was flying in the early stages of the game. She has 4 points to her name. And then suddenly, inexplicably, she drops a pass like that. You'd have to say, I'd say Kilmore are thrilled that they've got the half-time whistle here.
Absolutely. I've heard of a game of two halves. We just had a half of 2 quarters. Really very, very entertaining opening half of football. And I think there's a lot more to come still from Kilmore.
Oh, absolutely. Like, they've proven in the first quarter what they're capable of doing, particularly when they put pressure on that Ballymore kick-out. You know, you look at, obviously, your standout players being your county stars, Emma Cousins and Lauren Cousins. But we don't single them out because they're county players. We single them out because they've shown out there they can break a tackle, they can create chaos and overlaps. But they just haven't been able to do it. Like, I mean, I'm looking at the likes, say, Cathy O'Connor, Ciara Codd. These players can finish, but I don't think they've had a shot on goals here.
No, they haven't. They haven't been able to get the ball up that far in the last 5, 6, 7 minutes.
It's all to play for. There's 5 points in it here. It's undoubtedly, it's momentum on Ballymore's side. The question will be, can they keep that going after half-time? It's been a thoroughly enjoyable game of football here at MW Hire O'Moore Park. Hey, if MW Hire are going to pay the sponsorship, I've got to make sure to get their name in there, even if I fumble over it. So it's been really entertaining stuff here at Portlaoise. We're going to be back with you in just over 5 or 6 minutes, and we hope to see you back soon. Thanks for joining us. We're back in O'Moore Park here in Portlaoise. I'm looking around, I don't see any jersey numbers above 15 just yet. You'd have to imagine Kilmore would have been tempted though to go to their bench.
They might have been, but very often you want to see how the opening minute or two goes before you make any rash changes. So
absolutely. Now I suppose there's also a bit of a factor here. Kilmore down a couple of players from 2020. Beth Cardiff, Claire Barry, Emma Hoare, Grace Barry. These are all players they would have had available last year. Maybe they just don't have the depth that they might have had in 2020, but they're off to a flyer here. Niamh Moore wins the throw-in. Long ball down towards Maria Byrne. Maria Byrne has the time to steady herself. Moore is gone again, doesn't find her. Emma Cousins instead. Now it's back towards the captain. Ball worked out here towards Ellie O'Connor. Ellie O'Connor shooting in heavy traffic. That's a big score for Ellie O'Connor. We talked about momentum beforehand. They really need to follow that up now, but here's a chance now for Kilmore to build momentum. Lauren Cousins wins the kick out, drives in, ball back inside here towards her sister Emma. Emma shoots off the right foot, but doesn't quite have the Weetabix in it. Goal drops short, picked up by Mary Kiernan, and it's back out, but it's back out here. Another chance for Kilmore. Sophie Boxwell now. Sophie Boxwell. Illegal tackle coming in on her. I'll tell you, if it's 2 points in a row for Kilmore after this free kick, that's a big momentum shifter.
We have definitely game on, Kevin, anyway. Maybe they shared the water bottles with Ballymore in the first half.
Well, whatever else you'd be doing in these current COVID times, sharing water bottles, I'd say is highly unlikely. Maria Byrne with the right-footed kick, and that looks straight and true, sure enough. She missed a couple early on, but she's got her range back. 5 out of the 6 Kilmore points have come from the boot of the former Wexford player at full forward. There's a goal between the sides as Mary Kiernan stands over the kick out. Goes for distance, looks for Aisling Riley, and why wouldn't she? In the form that Aisling Riley is in, you'd be giving her every single ball going. Long ball down towards Emer Heaney. Emer Heaney being shadowed by Katie Bates. Quick, it looks to exchange passes. Fiona Getting spills it. Emer Heaney wins it at the second attempt. And that's a huge score for the full forward. 1-2. She was struggling to get space early on. There was a couple of her early possessions. She was being boxed up by the Kilmore defence. She's been one-on-one now, and that's 1-2 in 3 possessions. She's making a huge difference out there.
She's done a sight of work for Ballymore. She reignited them up in the first half, I think, reignited their attack. And has started the second half in the same vein.
There you go, that's what it's all about as a forward. Take advantage of the chances you get. You never know how long you'll be waiting for another one. Maria Byrne now picks up possession. Mary Martin shadowing her. Byrne tries to drive off the near shoulder. Gets inside, advantage being played here. She keeps going. Advantage is over now at this stage. Works the ball inside towards Niamh Moore. Outside here now, chance for Ciara Codd, but doesn't take the opportunity. Instead comes back. That's a lot of hand passes here. Surely Codd will shoot this time. Codd shoots off the right foot. Codd puts it between the posts. Straight between the sticks. 1-10 to 1-7. Goal in it again. A little bit of hesitancy the first time. You have to imagine she'll feel a lot better for putting that one through the post.
That was really clever from Ciara Codd. She wasn't in a scoring position in the first time. She gave the ball back. When she got back into a scoring position, then took it back and finished it really, really well.
Absolutely lovely ball down from Rachel Cassidy, finds Caroline Kiernan. Ball worked inside again to the player in form, that's Emer Heaney. Emer Heaney, advantage coming here, doesn't take on the shot, possibly should have because the advantage will be gone. Back to Fiona Gettings. Fiona now looks to shoot off her left. Shot from Gettings, point from Gettings, 1-11 to 1-7. Definitely no problem in front of the post for either team here. We already have 20 scores on the board and we're only about 3 or 4 minutes into the second half.
It's been a very confident start by both teams into the second half. Definitely the words of the managers maybe still ringing in their ears.
Either that or that real rare gem of management, the ones who know to stay quiet. Very, very hard find them, particularly at junior level I find. They're very, very hard find. Ball inside here towards Fiona Gettings. Fiona Gettings pushes the ball outside, spreads it wide. Sorka Dawson now in possession. Kilmore not killing themselves trying to burst out and put pressure on her. They obviously feel this is too far outside of the danger area. Better close off the scoring zone. Wide raking ball here, but that's really asking too much of Marie Mark or of Aoife Dawson. Pushed her way too far wide, and that's going to be a Kilmore sideline ball. Chance now for Kilmore to build up another attack after conceding the last score, but it's been nip and tuck in this second half so far. That sideline ball was from, I'm going to say, about 2 Townlands inside the sideline, but they decided they were happy enough to continue. Ball in the possession of Ellie O'Connor, works it inside here towards Magella Byrne. Magella Byrne, that's a tough ball, fed down there. That's really brave work by Ciara Kelly. That is proper cornerback play. Got her body into the good position, smothered, controlled the ball, made sure the corner forward couldn't get at it, and won her free. That is proper cornerback play. That's the kind of stuff you love to see from somebody in a single-digit jersey.
Absolutely. I'm sure that the Ballymore manager now, Rachel, will be delighted with Ciara's performance there.
So now Ballymore, chance to build another attack, looking to dink that ball down towards Caroline Kiernan. Not gathered at the first attempt, but Aisling Reynolds is able to win the loose bounce. Ball fed out here now towards Rachel Cassidy, who's coming into the game very well. Lovely ball into Emer Heaney. Oh, that was a gorgeous little touch of the hand from Kelsey Morris. Knocked the ball out of her possession. Really big turnover, and I'll tell you, it's hard to say for definitively, but that could be a crucial swing moment because there was a goal on there. Over-carrying call on Sophie Boxwell, and it's going to be another chance for Ballymore here, but I'll tell you, that was a crucial tackle there. Emer Heaney was in on goal if Kelsey Morris didn't make that, Rob.
That timing was exceptional.
Really was. Quality play from the full back there, and so important. It was last line of defence stuff. Not that I'm looking to undermine Kate O'Reilly in goals now. I'm sure she was well capable of pulling off heroics, but no doubt the custodian at the same time would be quite happy to see her full-back avert the danger. Aisling Reynolds in possession now. Lovely little shimmy and hand pass. Ball fed out here. And it's a bit of a late hit coming in from Lauren Cousins. And Lauren and Kelly Cunningham had a little bit of a disagreement in the first half. So I suspect that whatever leeway is going mightn't be given to the Kilmore centre forward in this instance.
I think we have the first of the Kilmore substitutions here, Kevin.
Substitution here, definitely. Lisa Power looks like she's the one set to come in. Lisa Power coming into the forward line in place of Ellie O'Connor. I can only imagine Ellie must have taken a bump because she had a quiet enough first half, but she kicked a point and won 2 good possessions in the second. Like she had probably had one of the best performances of any Kilmore player in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this half.
Sometimes these subs maybe are
pre-arranged
decided beforehand.
Like
yeah.
So it's a Ballymore free on the about 40 metres out from goal here. Under normal circumstances, I'd say this would probably be out of range, but in the form that Aisling Reynolds is in at the moment, I would dismiss absolutely nothing from the bounds of possibility here. That one's definitely dropping short, and it's going, I'll be honest, nowhere in particular.
I think that might be the commentator curse you spoke about in the first half now.
No,
it's a pity, she just didn't hit it.
The commentator didn't anticipate that she was going to hit the target with that one now. That was...
she just didn't hit it right, hit it with the sweet spot, unfortunately.
It's a very difficult spot to score because you're going to have so many crowds in front of you. You're nearly better off with a free 20 metres further back than that because it's very hard to engineer a bit of space to work the ball, which is why you often find teams will go back with a free kick in this situation. Sharon Cloney now trying to carry the ball forward. Cloney looks for the long ball up. She's trying to find Cathy O'Connor. Cathy O'Connor has got inside Ciara Kelly. O'Connor with the hand pass inside. First touch here for Lisa Power, and I'll tell you, that's how you make an impact on a game after coming in. That is how you make an impact. First touch, takes the ball into her possession, and simple as you like, straight between the posts for a really important Kilmore score. So I'll tell you, there's me saying I was surprised Ellie O'Connor being taken off. Well, the substitution has paid dividends already. And straight away here now, Lisa Power with a second possession. Feeds it back out towards Niamh Moore. Plenty of Ballymore bodies back here. Moore manages to step inside, feeds it to Maria Byrne. She's got into scoring zone. She's inside the arc. Doesn't manage to get the shot away. We'll work back out here towards Magella Byrne. Again, Kilmore, they can be a little bit shot shy in this situation. Oh, lovely block. Fiona Gettings got in there to block down Sophie Boxwell. Really, really well done. Great defending from Ballymore, preserving their 3-point lead there. Again, Kilmore with the pressure. Sharon Cloney reads that really well. Heart and soul of this Kilmore team. Ball worked inside towards Niamh Moore. Niamh Moore out here towards Cathy O'Connor. That's so condensed. Look at that, 7 Ballymore bodies in short space. Lauren Cousins looking to break through, and she's brought down. That's going to be an opportunity for a free. Chance for Kilmore to get back within 2 points, which is the closest they'd have been since half-time. So they're continuing to build. They're definitely an improved side so far.
Absolutely, and it's Lauren Cousins there that's after reigniting that now. She did really well with that ball.
Absolutely, stepped inside. There was a lot of tacklers around, but there was a bit of force and direction in the run. So chance for Maria Byrne here to make it 111 to 1-9. This would be the full forward's 6th point of the game if she gets it. And that looks bang on target. The accepted phrase in that situation is straight over the black spot. Now, of course, we are in Portlaoise, so they've done it in blue rather than black to make blue and white crossbar. I suppose can't blame them for that, really. They're entitled to do these things. Free kick out coming there from Mary Kiernan. Well won at the heart of the defence by Caroline Kiernan. The ball's been worked up. And there's a pull there. A pull by Grace Cardiff on Emer Heaney. Free again. We're on the edge of range here. Well, I would have said we were on the edge of range, but Kelly Cunningham is standing maybe 30 metres out from the posts here, and that's definitely in the kind of territory where you'd say Aisling Reynolds would have the range. Now, I'd say Aisling Reynolds might have the range, but Emer Heaney is the one standing over it.
That's a yellow card.
The yellow card there for Grace Cardiff in that instance. So it's definitely all hands on deck now for Kilmore for the next 10 minutes. It'll be a case of just trying to hang in the game, stay in contention, and hopefully then when we come back into action, they'll be still in a position where they can try and strike. Emer Heaney, she's pushed that one a bit left. It's also dropped short. It's been won close to goal by Emma Cousins. Emma Cousins driving out, wins that free. So now 10 minutes sin bin to try and endure here. What way do you treat this if you're Kilmore? Do you try and hold possession, slow the game down, or do you just drop players back, strike on the break? How do you think they go about it?
I think you have to.
Chance here for Ballymore. Aisling Reynolds, ball inside. Fiona Gettings now. Oh, left-footed shot just over the crossbar. Sorry, I had to cut across you there to kind of, the players were very unhelpful, deciding they were going to construct a meaningful attack just when we were trying to talk tactics for a minute.
I think you have to go for it though, Kevin. I think, 10 minutes playing time is a long time, and I don't think this Ballymore team will wait.
Absolutely. Ciara Codd there gets out, wins that kick out very well, feeds it forward towards Sophie Boxwell. The wing forward, one of the young tyros in this team. She definitely has the pace to try and break forward. Ciara Codd now again feeds it back here towards Lisa Power. Lisa Power spreads the play out, trying to give a bit of width to the game, which is something that's sorely lacking at the moment. Lauren Cousins, she looks to drive straight through, feeds that ball out towards Maria Byrne. Maria Byrne stands up the defence, but it's so narrow here. They really need to stretch it wide because Ballymore are just able to get so many bodies back in that central channel, and Kilmore aren't spread it out. And there's the turnover again. Aoife Dawson wins the ball. Quick exchange of passes and another chance for Ballymore to strike on the break here. Long ball coming up from Fiona Gettings. It's all about the bounce. Oh, really well done. I have to say, Sharon Cloney read that well. I have no dog in the hunt as an Offaly man. I'm halfway between these two clubs. But I was nervous for Sharon when that ball was bouncing in there. I misjudged that one myself so much as a small under 12.
Had she missed that, that was crucial. That was so important. because Emer Heaney would have been banging there now.
Absolutely, it would have been one-on-one. As they said in the Boer War, don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes. That would have been the situation between Emer Heaney and Kate O'Reilly in that situation. But
it's like the historical reference, Kevin. Thanks for that.
I do what I can. Hey, come for the football, stay for the educational experience. Leinster LGFA brings you everything. Everything. Maria Byrne stands over this here. That's put me on the spot now. Now I'm going to have to come up with some other good historical references. Disappointing strike there from Maria Byrne. She's hooked that one out to the left-hand side. We go to the water break here again. 1-12 to 1-9. It's still in contention. It's still in contention, but you get the sense, I won't say hanging on by a thread. I'll say maybe, you know, hanging on by an elastic band. How's that? Is that a fair enough description?
That sounds a bit more trustworthy, yeah.
This is the point where you could be educational and tell us about the background to elastic bands and who invented them or anything like that.
I tell you, whoever did has made a fortune. But do you know what? It's really actually lovely to hear the cheering from the stands. The supporters that are here are certainly being felt. I'm sure on the pitch, it's heartening to hear your side being shouted on.
Well, absolutely. Like, these are huge community experiences for the parishes involved. I mean, they're the two extreme ends of our province. I think there's only two more northerly clubs in Longford. I think it's St Helens and Mullinalochta would be further north than Ballymore. And equally, I was talking about Kilmore, and they referred to their three neighbours being St Fintan's, St Anne's, and I think it was St Martin's. And I was saying, well, there's no fourth neighbour on the other side because that's the Irish Sea. So, yeah, it's pretty much the two extremes. But for these communities to make the long trip to Portlaoise, I'll tell you, there's nothing they'd be happier to do for an evening like this.
Absolutely. This week I spoke to Niamh Martin and to Rachel Cassidy, and it was the one thing that actually both of them made the point out, that, you know, they have very much small clubs. There's an awful lot of family. There's a family feeling within the club. So.
Yeah, and that's what it is like. I mean, it'll be a surreal experience. Don't get me wrong. Anyone who's tuned into this stream this evening, we're delighted to have you on board. It's great to have you there, and we hope it's bringing it to wider members of the community who maybe couldn't get a ticket or whatever. But you know, in so many cases, these are the family members of players who've been going to games since it was under 6. You know, going to training sessions. So to miss a huge occasion like this, a Leinster final for these two clubs, which would be an absolutely momentous occasion, you know, it's probably debatable in the case of Ballymore. Would it mean more than a Longford senior title? Hard to know. Certainly for Kilmore, it would be the most momentous achievement in their relatively short history. So for family members to be missing that is a very, very strange situation. Anyway, we've done enough philosophising. You're here saying, talk about the football. We're not interested in this. So straight back to the action on the field, and Aisling Reynolds feeds it inside towards Deirdre Monaghan. Quick exchange of passes. No danger in not getting sufficient bodies back anyway for Kilmore, but lovely work from Alana Burns. She picks the hole in the defence. Miss kick from Fiona Gettings, but Burns is underneath it again. Burns, low shot, off the post. I think there was a subtle touch there. I'm trying to make out who the defender was. It was actually Lauren Cousins who was back. Now, I'm not sure if it was Lauren Cousins or the goalkeeper who got a touch, but there was somebody got a touch on Alana Burns' shot there, and it made all the difference because it deflected it onto the post. I'll tell you, we talked about Kilmore trying to survive their sin bin period. They're surviving here, just about.
Absolutely surviving. And another day that would have found the back of the net.
So, long ball in here. Emer Heaney still flying. She is gobbling up those deliveries time and again. Lovely exchange inside to Aisling Reynolds. Oh, that's a great pass. Gettings. Twine! Goal for Ballymore. 2 goals and 12 points. 1 goal and 9 points. That is a hammer blow to Kilmore's chances here. A huge amount of pressure on the shoulders of these Wexford girls now. This is where they've absolutely got to step up and come up with something magical. They need to win this ball. Ciara Codd picks up the loose break. Kilmore need to come up with something special here. They're 6 points down. They're 1 player down. They need to find scores out of somewhere. Magella Byrne feeds that ball forward into Sophie Boxwell. Sophie Boxwell cuts inside, linking passes with Ciara Cobb. These two young players have done really well in this half. Boxwell looks to drive in and create the score. Over-carrying call. And that's really where the extra body makes all the difference. She probably felt in that situation she had no choice but to take on her marker.
Absolutely, Kevin. It's a pity because they have been good in the counter-attack, but desperately need to get a score on the board now if they're to survive.
Absolutely, 6 points, a huge gap in this. Now obviously it's 6 points, it could be 2 goals just as easily. We look at a substitution on the Kilmore side, and this time it's Marianne Sheehan coming into the game. Marianne Sheehan coming in for Katie Bates. Now I know I said earlier in reference to Sharon Keogh Cloney that you know, I usually for commentators we try and just go with 2 names to make life a bit easier. Marianne, we're used to Marianne as 1 name together. I think we can kind of grant her that. I don't feel any need to chop a chunk out of that. So,
no, I think she'll be all right.
There you go. There you go.
You'll find it.
Again, my apologies to Sharon for this. I'm sure, you know, but I just know I get my tongue tied up in knots in that situation. So I'm afraid there you go. This is just, these are just the shortcuts us people will take. Long ball down here now into Emer Heaney again. Emer Heaney again linking up with Aisling Reynolds. Still as full running as she was at the start. Draws a tired tackle out of Maria Byrne. Wins that free. That's a huge opportunity here. You'd have to say it looks like this is slipping away from Kilmore here.
It's. I think the elastic band has become a thread once more. Ballymore have definitely come after the water break, are right back in this, and are not letting go.
No, again, they've completely turned around. It's amazing to think back to the first quarter and you look at the control that Kilmore had of the 2 kickouts, and that was their platform, and that has completely turned around. Aisling Reynolds, point number 8 for the midfielder. You have to say she has been absolutely dominant. I know they're all from frees, but her influence from general play has been phenomenal. Absolutely,
herself and Emer Heaney are linking up really, really well, and they're causing Kilmore all kinds of damage in that defence.
They're making all the difference here now. So Kilmore, they only have a matter of a few minutes now to try and save this championship. They're up against it, I'll tell you. It'll be somewhere along the lines. The last time we saw a comeback like this, we were reading about it in the Bible. It was Lazarus himself was the last man who made a comeback of this magnitude, if they managed to do it. Does that count as educational if it's religious?
That's what I was thinking. You've gotten history, you've gotten geography, we've got a bit of religion. You're ticking them off, Kevin. Absolutely, yeah.
We had my bad maths earlier. Emer Heaney driving through. Sharon Cloney is on her. This could be it. Oh, save! Fantastic save from Kate O'Reilly. Fantastic save from Kate O'Reilly. Emer Heaney through on goal. She was going for roof of the net, but sharp reflexes there from the goalkeeper. I'll tell you, we're still, they're not quite flatlining, but they're still creeping further behind. We're 8 points behind and they failed to retain that kick out. Failed to retain that kick out. Marie Martin now with the quick restart. You get the sense, even though we're waiting on Kilmore getting back up to their full complement of 15, Ballymore would be happy to wind down the clock a bit too. Alana Burns cuts inside. Lovely foot pass across to Fiona Gettings. Fiona Gettings, right-footed shot. Fiona Gettings through the posts. I'll tell you, 9 points in it now, 2-15 to 1-9. Kilmore looking for saviours again. Joanna Cousins coming onto the team. Grace Cardiff also coming back in at the end of her sin bin. So Joanna Cousins has gone into the side here now.
Substitution on the Kilmore team, number 25, Joanna Cousins. Replaces number 15, Ciara Codd.
So if you couldn't hear that there through the stadium announcer, it's Ciara Codd who's made way. She kicked a point in the second half. She carried an awful lot of ball. But it's just a case of try whatever you can from the point of view of the Kilmore management at this stage as they try and salvage this Leinster final. So Kilmore back up to 15 players, but they've 9 points to find and we're down to just 6 or 7 minutes of normal time left. This is where I'll admit my infallibility and say that I didn't actually watch and see when exactly this half started, so that's shocking unprofessionalism on my part. My cameraman tells me 8 minutes is what's left, so I'll tell you, cameraman doing the reporter better than the reporter. What does that tell you? I'll be fired in no time. Ciara, so I was going to say it looks like Ciara Codd on that ball. I thought they said it was her gone off. They announced it was her gone off, but it's actually Cathy O'Connor who's made way. It's actually Cathy O'Connor who's made way, and it's Ciara Codd who's still on the team. So Kilmore win possession here. Ball fed inside towards Niamh Moore. I'll tell you, it'd be like a Dead Poets Society. Oh captain, my captain, can she stand up on a desk and come up with something magical? Ball fed out here towards Lisa Power. Lisa Power into Lauren Cousins. She got Kilmore's goal in the first half. Will she be able to come up with another one here? You get the sense they need a couple to try and salvage it. And they're just coming up against a black and yellow wall. Well worked inside towards Niamh Moore. Niamh Moore again, switch of hand passes. Chance here for Joanna Cousins. Good strike from Joanna Cousins, and she puts it straight between the posts. 2 subs brought on, well 3 subs brought on for Kilmore. 2 of them score with their first touch. Can't argue with that. Absolutely can't. Good sub work from the Kilmore management. Absolutely, but really you get the sense that here that Kilmore are going to have to get through and find goals from somewhere if they're going to bridge this gap. Because Ballymore back in numbers though, Kevin. Ballymore back in numbers. I remember a line, I'm going to throw an Offaly reference in here. 1998 All-Ireland hurling final was Offaly against Kilkenny, and somebody said afterwards that a wasp couldn't find their way through the Offaly defence that day, never mind 15 grown men dressed as one, in reference to the Kilkenny jersey. So I'd say this is a little bit different. Now Kilmore have to find their way through the Wasps' defence, and they probably feel like they're getting stung every time they try and do it. Hard run there from Maria Byrne. She's fouled in the process, so it's a free, but it's a long way outside of scoring distance. Quick free, oh I'll tell you, that was a bit of a hospital ball, but nobody got hurt at the end of it. Oh, quick free, I'll tell you. I know Kilmore are trying to hurry things up, but they need to be careful. They need to retain possession at the same time. They've managed to win it back here towards Magella Byrne, but they've 80 yards of open country to try and clear as they get into where they need to be able to see, which is in on top of Mary Kiernan in the Ballymore goal. Ciara Codd now tries to work it inside. Emma Cousins, we know she's got the pace, but there's just no gap there. She's pushed in the back and she wins a free. You have to imagine at this stage Ballymore will be happy enough to concede fouls in those situations, I'd say. Absolutely, and from out there as well, at least you're giving yourself every opportunity with plenty of players back in defence. Player or 2 on the line as well. So Maria Byrne stands over this free. 6 points to her name from so far, all from dead balls. Is the Magnificent 7? Not quite. It's pushed wide. It's pushed wide of the target, and while on the one hand they'll need more than points to get into this, they probably need a couple of goals and a couple of points as well. Good read here from Sophie Boxwell. Sophie Boxwell drives in, steps past, right-footed shot from Boxwell. She's got it between the posts. That was great work from Sophie Boxwell. She's had a very good second half. She's seen an awful lot of the ball, and it was a lovely finish. She really has. She's made some great runs down that right-hand side, showing great energy, and particularly when they were down at player, it was crucial that she was able to break tackles. Lovely read there from Niamh Moore, but can't quite hold on to it. And Avril Wilson is able to get in and pick up the loose ball. Those little lucky breaks that you need at this vital time. So now, chance for Ballymore to build out. Ball fed up here towards Alana Burns. Rings her really well. Lovely step inside. Alana Burns, toe tap. Low ball in. Looks to feed it inside towards Fiona Gettings. Fiona Gettings, lovely bit of composure as you'd expect from the midfielder. Looks to find Emer Heaney. Emer Heaney has it. It's not in a dangerous area. She's out in the corner, but she'll be quite happy to wind the clock down here. Takes plenty of time, works the ball back in towards the middle. Advantage coming, feeds it out here towards Sorka Dawson. Sorka Dawson, the advantage didn't accrue. So the ball comes back and it's going to be a free. Chance for Ballymore here, chance for Ballymore to put a point on the board, but nearly as important, chance for them to take another 30 seconds and wind more time off the clock.
Absolutely, it's almost job done here for Ballymore, and strange there hasn't been any movement on the Ballymore subs bench. Management seem happy enough to...
This is where I feel sorry for Denise O'Flaherty of the Longford leader behind me, because what's going to happen is they're going to run off about 5 subs when it comes to... they're going to run off about 5 subs in the last 2 minutes. Just to really make a nightmare of it for the print reporters. Aisling Reynolds files that between the posts. 2:16 to 1:11. You get the sense they're within touching distance. They can smell it at this point.
That's Aisling Reynolds' ninth free.
Ninth free, I'll tell you. Phenomenal shooting from her. She's missed a couple from play. I don't think she's put a free wide of the target. Long ball here, Sophie Boxwell wins it again. I've been really impressed with her in this half. Long ball forward, Lisa Power wins it well. Fed forward towards Grace Cardiff. She had 10 minutes to rest. Does she use it? Oh, pushes it wide of the target. Disappointing wide. Disappointing wide from the, I was going to say centre back. She's not playing centre back at this stage. She's been pushed up into the attack. Though really, it's a bit of a free-for-all out in the middle area now at this stage. There's no real shape to it. Mary Kiernan looks to come out to her right-hand side here. She's looking to the wing forward. She's looking for Rachel Cassidy. Good win by Rachel Cassidy. Looking to find Alana Burns. That's gone in behind towards Emer Heaney. Oh, she didn't gather it in the first attempt, but she's quick. She steps in onto her right foot. Emer Heaney off the right foot. Lovely score. Goal and 4 from play. It's actually quite remarkable. They've 2:17 on the board and they've 3 scorers.
It's magic. Every time Emer Heaney has the ball, it's dangerous. You know, she's approached the game really very well.
Absolutely. Like, I have to say, she was impressive. Even at a county level, she was one of Longford's best performers in the league this year. Longford hugely unlucky to miss out on a National League semi-final place, lost out by a point to Kildare on the last round. It was a real dramatic finish at the time. I was in Sligo. The updates were being fed through. That was the other group. So. Promising league campaign for Longford. They'll look to carry that into the championship, and Emer Heaney will be a big part of it. I'll tell you, Aisling Reynolds was on the ball there a minute ago. There'll be questions in Longford. Is there any way we could draw her back into the panel as well? Because I'd say she could make a savage contribution. Lovely breakthrough here now. Ball fed inside towards Alana Burns. Alana Burns again feeds it in towards Heaney. She's on her right foot. Heaney off her right. Same position. Same result, a goal and 5 for the full forward. I'll tell you, it's just phenomenal shooting.
Absolutely, and really very well set up there by Alana Burns. She saw Emer Heaney in that little bit of space and made sure that she got the ball.
Exactly. Give it to the hot hand, as they say.
Indeed.
Oh, that's a mistake from Angela Byrne. Lovely intercept there from Fiona Gettings. Chance for Ballymore to keep pushing forward, keep adding scores here. At this stage, you get the sense 2:18. That's surely enough in its own right, even if Kilmore managed to pull some heroics out of the bag in the last couple of minutes. We would be gone into stoppage time at this stage, as Lauren Cousins comes onto the ball now. That's a little bit of a hit and hope, hit it and bottle directed really, but God has directed it into the arms of Niamh Moore. Niamh Moore taking possession now. She's looking to break inside. She's just got to put the head down and charge in that situation. Does well, wins the free, but snaps it really quickly. And there she is again, Aisling Reynolds on her own goal line, read that brilliantly and started the breakaway. Alana Burns now steps inside Sharon Cloney. Alana Burns and another sidestep. This time getting inside Marianne Sheehan. Burns looking to dink it inside, but that's good tracking. Good tracking from Lauren Cousins, but it's all to no avail. There's another free for Ballymore here. Normally in that situation, I'd have said they'd have been happy enough for the play to continue with the advantage, but in this instance, I'd say let the clock wind down, let those precious seconds slip away, and they're getting closer and closer to a first Leinster title.
Absolutely, you can see the frustration. Unfortunately, there's Lauren Cousins with a sin bin. I think the frustration of it has just gotten to her. Unfortunately, she has a great contribution, but she's gone on a yellow there as well.
Absolutely, it was. She had a fantastic goal in the first half, but Herself and Kelly Cunningham didn't see eye to eye over one call. A free was brought forward and they had a few harsh words with each other. I'd say she was walking a thin line, and now she'll watch the last few minutes of this game from the sideline. I don't think it's going to have a material effect on the result. Well, it certainly won't have a material effect on the result. That's the final whistle. It's been a phenomenal performance here from Ballymore. 2 goals in 19 to a goal in 11. I mean, you can't argue at 2-19 in hours football.
Absolutely a great performance and a great turnaround from the first quarter of the game. They really came into their own after the first water break, and they were fabulous in the second half. You couldn't fault the effort, and you can see how much it means to them on the field.
Absolutely. There was a brief period at the start of the second half. There was 5 points in it at the break. Kilmore cut that down to 3. At one stage they cut it down to 2. I think it was 111 to 19 or something like that at one point. And Kilmore had a little bit of momentum, but you got the sense at that stage Ballymore were a bit more settled in the game. When Kilmore were on top in the first quarter, they were controlling the kick out, they were controlling every phase, they were winning turnovers in the back line. You know, you never got that sense in the second half. Every ball that went into Emer Heaney, she looked dangerous. You know, midfield was never a problem area for Ballymore, even when Kilmore were scoring.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think great credit has to go to the Ballymore midfielders. Great credit has to go to the Ballymore midfielders. Fiona Gettings and Aisling Reynolds, I think they were the difference, I think, between the two sides.
Ah yeah, well you can't really argue
Absolutely
with
fantastic.
You can't really argue with 1-14 between your two midfielders. Okay.
Not a bad day's work.
Not a bad day's work by any stretch of the imagination. So that's pretty much it from our point of view here this evening. It's been an absolutely phenomenal evening's entertainment. I have to say, my thank you to my co-commentator Aisling Cleary. My thank you, as always, to MMC streaming for all the kind of professionalism and for managing things so well, as opposed to my completely winging it and making it up as I'm going along. It's been a really enjoyable evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's finished here in glory for Ballymore of Longford. They have won the Leinster LGFA Junior Championship for 2020. Ballymore 219, Kilmore 111.
LGFA Secretary, I'm honoured to have been asked to present these trophies here tonight. So first of all, we have our Player of the Match award, and if she has the energy, we would like to ask that Aisling Reynolds please come up to receive it, please. I can't take it. Aisling. Number 9. Come on. Does she not want it? Right.
Oh, she does. Ash, come on! You may cut an answer again there.
Here she comes. I can't present it. Congratulations. That's yours. Well done. Congratulations. Just this way.
Oh,
there you go. Congratulations.
sorry. Oh, sorry.
Oh, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to congratulate both clubs on reaching what is the 2020 Leinster Junior Club final. I would also like to thank everyone involved in both clubs, as well as your county secretaries and everyone for your time and your patience and your cooperation with Leinster Council in organising and getting us to organise this game here tonight. So a huge thank you to everyone involved there. I would like to thank Lease GA for the use of MW Hire O'Moore Park. I want to congratulate the grounds people and everyone involved in presenting the facilities in such excellent conditions here tonight as well. To my fellow Leinster Council officers, our administrators and our team of people who have helped out here tonight as well, not just at this match but other matches, and also the match streaming, which has now become a fundamental part of ladies Gaelic football as well. So thank you to everyone involved there as well. To our match officials and our fourth officials and everyone involved as well. It's been a tough time for everyone. It's great that we're now back playing football again, and I look forward to working with them all throughout the Leinster football season, which is about to kick off for 2021 in the next few weeks. To Kilmore, I know it's a lonely spot you're in at the moment, but I will say to you that a wise person once said, when you lose, make sure you don't lose the lesson. And I think you can use this moment here now to actually drive you forward for your 2021 season, and I wish you the very best of luck within Wexford, and I hope to see you in Leinster Championship soon again. To Ballymore, 2020 Leinster Junior Club champions, congratulations. I am sure this is just a stepping stone for you for the year ahead, and I wish you the very best of luck as you go on within Longford, and also I look forward to seeing you back in Leinster Championship soon. So all that's left for me to do now is call on your captain to lift your trophy. Just back up to the camera. I've cleaned it.
You got an Irish Marie. It's very lonely up here. I'm used to having my girls around me when I'm making big speeches, but first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you to the Leinster GAA for putting on this. We were beginning to lose hope, but Leinster always assured us that this match would go ahead, and for that we can only thank you. You'll never know how happy we were that this match went ahead today, so thank you for all your time and effort. We know it wasn't easy to arrange this here today, so we thank you very much for that. Just want to say thanks to our own committee ladies in Ballymore. It's often an unthankful job, but they never let us down. Anything we wanted for this final, they were just a call away and we had it. So ladies, thanks very much for all your help. Thanks to Laois for allowing us to play on these absolutely fantastic facilities and having them in such great shape for us here this evening as well. So thank you. Just thanks to Kelly and her team of officials for a very professional job as always this evening, so thank you. Just our management team then, Sean and Michal, they came on board last year and our goal was that we would win the county championship, and once we won that it just seemed to escalate after that, and here we are today now being Leinster champions. So I want to just thank Sean and Scoop for all the time and effort that they put in. You've no idea the amount of hours that they put in behind the scenes just to make sure that we were ready here for today. So thanks lads, it's really much appreciated, all the effort that you put in. And just this bunch of girls down here, as I said, I'm used to having them around me here. They're the best bunch of girls that you could ask to play with, and for the last 6 months, I'm not joking you, we did train and we trained and we trained on our own every day. I think we were becoming called the road runners at one stage because you couldn't go a road but there was one of us running on it. So girls, it's a testament to you that you kept that going when there was no idea when this game was going to be played. So girls, fair play to you, and it's an honour for me to stand up here today and captain ye. So well done girls. And just want to say to Kilmore, I know nothing I say, we've been in your position and nothing I say is going to make it any